Headline: Tuesday, September 3rd, 1913. Mendel Beiliss, a Jew in Kiev, Russia, is accused of blood libel and jailed in a harsh Russian jail. This is a most serious charge, claiming that he killed a Russian boy to use his blood for the making of matzah for the Jewish seder. The world, from Europe to the United States, observe with astonishment, holding rallies and asking lots of questions. We look in the home of the Russian defender of Mendel Beiliss. We see the door open to the modest home of Nikolai Krasakov, where he enters along with Sergei Mulaski and Sergei's wife, Katya Mulaski.
Come inside. Oh, that was a wonderful meal. Finally, Semchik has gotten himself a good chef. Now, my cook has prepared a very special strudel and some cookies for us. Ah, strudel, my favorite food.
Next to vodka, of course.
That goes without saying. But as we know, vodka is not a food, it is a way of life and my basic sustenance.
And it is time for you to give up that sustenance.
You have tried over the years, my dear Katya, to reform me. For my own well-being, I know, but as I grow older, I am more like a child. You know, if I see it, I want it.
Then put it out of sight, Nikolai.
More easily said than done. It creeps out of the cabinet stealthily.
Only for you, my dear friend, can a good drink move from place to place without human intervention.
And speaking of vodka, I will be right back. I'll bring the strudel out onto the table too. Wait till you taste it.
The only good thing about Nikolai's penchant for vodka is that he seems to imbibe indefinitely without ill effects.
And without any loss to his mental abilities, I might add.
Well, you should know after all the years you two have worked together.
Yes, it's been, let me think, about 17 years.
Sergei, about that rumor going around about Nikolai, is it something we should mention?
I'm not sure. Perhaps we should wait to see if he brings it up.
I told you the vodka was stealthy. It made not a single move while I was in the kitchen. So, Katya, can you tell us more about how you are keeping our community vital and healthy?
Just more of the usual. Social affairs, meetings, and a touch of politics.
Do you see a lot of your brother and father at your meetings?
Yes, they are still close and trying to keep connected to the people.
Yeah, a good thing to do these days. Still, and above all, it's the people that count. Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes even the Tsar forgets that.
The Tsar forgets nothing, my friend. Especially when his eyes and ears are everywhere. Let's not forget that.
No serious danger, I assure you. Lurking around every corner, there seems to be someone trying to curry favor with a local politician who allegedly knows the Tsar personally. The Tsar has friends he doesn't even know he has. And what about your work these days, Sergei? Are you letting it interfere with your chess?
My priorities, as always, are well conceived and well executed. Chess comes first, along with a good book, then comes work. And how about you?
My work. Well, perhaps you have heard the rumor that's on everyone's lips at the courthouse. Well, if you have not, it's a new assignment, the Beiliss case. Only the most controversial case in our lifetime, full of trenchant issues.
And not without dangers.
Yes, as a full life has its dangers. So, Katya, what do you think about Beiliss? You know, Beiliss the Jew.
Beiliss. Do you really want an answer?
Of course.
Well, what I have read in the papers for the last 2 years is that he has been in jail for more than 2 years, and every day I hear or read that it is time for the people to avenge the death of the boy he presumably killed.
The Black Hundreds are out in force, stirring the pot and adding to the chaos.
I don't know if he's guilty, but I do know you don't keep someone confined for 2 years without a trial.
Yes, they have stubbed their toe on that one.
But gotten away with it, I would like to add.
And all of that is going to change soon, now that you will defend him. Right, Nikolai?
It's just a rumor now.
Would you accept such an assignment?
Probably yes. But perhaps if offered, I might not have a choice. To Sergei, my comrade in arms, to our closeness, our survival of trials and tribulations together, and our caring for one another, I propose this toast. Zazdrovia.
Zazdrovia.
September 4th, 1913, Kiev, Russia. It seems that the Black Hundreds, a dominant right-wing anti-Jew organization, is demanding the trial and sentencing of Mendel Beiliss, but more importantly are using the incident to fuel their propaganda. Friday, September 5th, 1913. The State Attorney's Office of Kiev, Dmitry Viper, looking through a set of folders, the Kiev records of the Beiliss case. Sitting across his desk is Luka Kalnikov, the state prosecutor, and a subordinate to Viper.
I'm not pleased with the progress on this case. It has been badly mismanaged.
I understand, Dmitry. It was my finding as well.
But you have not been able to resolve this issue. Why is that?
The locals here have their prerogatives, and in a case or two, some independent channels that lead directly to the Tsar's family.
Yes. Everyone has channels to the Tsar. Let me tell you, this case has been an embarrassment to the Tsar. I've been informed of this directly from the Tsar's high command. And now it is my job to bring this case to closure as quickly as possible. Do you understand that?
Without question, Dmitry.
Do we have any enemies here in Kiev? And the channels to the Tsar, who are they?
It is rumored that Mayor Brandorf is able to reach the Tsar's family, but not the Tsar directly.
Will he interfere?
I don't believe so if we are careful.
Do we have a pre-trial hearing date?
As you requested, I have it set for 6 days from today.
Very good. And Ivanov will be the prosecuting attorney.
Yes, as we discussed yesterday.
Is he up to the job?
Without question. He has the tenacity of a mad dog.
And your strong recommendation for defense attorney is this Krezikov person?
Yes, Dmitry. He has a good reputation for defense cases and has been softening with age, especially in the last few years.
How old a man is he?
Now 57 and looking to retire with pension in just a couple years.
And will he recognize my authority in this case?
I believe that everyone here in Kiev knows you and the strength of your office as Attorney General.
You understand, Luka. My future position is at stake here.
That's very clear to me, Dmitry. But also, we must be as clean as possible. We must be perceived as fair, lest the whole case blow up into an international incident. Already, papers in Britain, America, and France have editorials about this case, and they are not favorable.
Your sense of fairness, although admirable in principle, well, sometimes eludes me.
It's simply that the eyes of the entire world are now on this case, and the perception of fairness, at least, it seems to me, is all important.
Yeah, your point is well taken, but we should never confuse perception and reality. It's true. We must be very careful. The Tsar's international image as a civilized man is very important to him. But inside, I can tell you that he can be very determined, angry, and brutal.
Which may be unhealthy if you are in his path at such a time.
If we are in his path, my dear Luka, now, let's get Krezikov in here. So, you are Attorney Krezikov.
Yes.
Do you know who I am?
Yes. You are the Attorney General of Russia.
That's correct. And I have a few questions to ask you.
Yes,
You are aware, of course, of the Beiliss case.
to some extent. It is all over the newspapers and streets.
And do you have an opinion about Beiliss?
No, as to his guilt or innocence, I do not know. As to his internment for 2 years, this is a black eye for all of Russia.
And the Tsar agrees. So you can see how important it is to move the case forward. Now, tell me, have you seen the evidence developed by our detectives?
I confess that I have not. It is not my practice to intrude in matters that are not assigned to me.
A virtue, Mr. Krezikov. And do you know the practice of ritual murder of the Jewish people?
The newspaper Kievlinen and others have written articles about it, and the Black Hundreds are rather verbal conveyors of this information.
And do you believe it is true?
I have never come directly face to face with it.
Good answer. But not to my question. I asked if you believe that the Jews murder Christians for the use of their blood.
It is difficult for me to believe in such a practice.
I see. Now, tell me, what is your reputation in this department? I asked for someone with an impeccable reputation and someone who people trust, and your name was at the top of the list.
For that, I am deeply honored.
And I have made the decision that you will be Beiliss's defense attorney.
Again, a great honor to be able to serve the state.
Do you have any reservation or misgivings about this assignment?
I am used to carrying out my defense work wherever it takes me. I have never had a case with this degree of public spotlight.
And so?
I will consult, as I have in the past, with my superiors. Other than that, it is my practice to take responsibility for preparing and executing an appropriate defense strategy.
Admirable. Very admirable. It's dawned on me that you've talked about retiring soon.
In a few years, perhaps.
So, you're a man of modest means.
Enough to get by.
So you will need your pension when you retire.
That is true.
You know, under the right circumstances, the state can be very generous.
I am not able to follow you.
Well, simply, I've known of cases in which a public servant was well rewarded for years of distinguished service.